Once again, I had to reiterate, this is not a how-to video. This is just how I do it. There's the right way, and then there's the Lee way. All right, welcome back to another episode of Cemetery Rescue. Hopefully by this afternoon today, we're gonna get to repairing this monument. This monument has to get repaired correctly, so we don't have to come back and do it over again. We gotta level that base out, and we gotta put the mid piece back on, the other piece, these pieces. As you can see, this monument right here is completely broken, and we're gonna epoxy all that back together. It's not gonna be as good as new, but it's gonna be in a lot better shape than what it was. Now yesterday, behind me, I did a buttload of landscaping. I didn't film any of that because I was busy with the newspaper reporter, and I had a few other visitors by a township supervisor, my father, my fiance coming to drop stuff off that I forgot in the garage. But the other project we were doing today is that I went out to the Big Orange store and bought a gas power Ryobi weed whipper we're going to be testing out. Let me show you what we're going to be testing it out on. We are most definitely doing a product review on the Ryobi weed whipper today. The reason why I have to cut all of this down is because we have headstones everywhere in this, and I cannot see them, we cannot get to them, we don't know who they are. And in the future, when I go to drop the dead trees so they don't come down later and do damage, I need to see where the headstones are so I don't drop a tree on top of one, especially after I fix it. So, all right, we got a busy day ahead. Let's get to it. You're probably thinking, Lee, why don't you just use a lawnmower? Well, two reasons. One, I don't know where the headstones are or how many logs and sticks and everything are in them. You just can't see it. And two, I'll show you. We're back at the cemetery. I decided to do a little, bring my push mower, do a little grass cutting, make it look nice before the newspaper reporter gets here. And well, cemeteries is where you go to bury the dead, and my lawnmower is now dead. She almost went out in flames. Well, the little tiny engine block from 1984 couldn't hack it anymore. So I think it's time to retire that old Craftsman, and well, we're just gonna have to get a new lawnmower probably at the Big Orange store and get a little bit of a discount. So that's how I started off my morning, and I was just trying to clean the place up more to make it look a little more presentable when the newspaper comes here and starts taking pictures. Well, what can you do? It's a good thing I got a battery operated weed whipper. Do some damage. All right. All right, we found our first headstone. Let's go take a look. Alright, now you see why we kind of got to do this. I have no idea what type of plants these are, but after I'm done weed whipping, well, hopefully within an hour, highly likely, I'm going to go around with vinegar water to kind of kill off the whatever this crap is, and then eventually maybe next year we can grow some grass here. The vinegar does not hurt the headstones because that is what I use to clean them, but it will stunt all of this crap from growing back. And you know, we're trying to make this cemetery look warm and welcoming once again, so that people can come in, find some of their ancestors they had no clue were even in existence. We are going to start reaching out to people that still live in the surrounding area that might be related to some of these people, see if they're interested. But enough chit chat, got work to do. Okay, time to let the weed whipper cool off. It did a pretty good job. And time to warm up the rake. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these trimmings, but there is a farm field right next to me and they got to plow eventually, right? Nah, I'll find a spot. Alright, let's get to raking. And once again, I want to make the point clear, the reason why I am tearing all this down is so when I come back and drop trees that might be a potential hazard, I don't crush any headstones. And this headstone and that headstone is directly under this tree that is eventually gonna crash down. So in order to restore the cemetery properly, you know, we gotta get rid of hazards like that tree, because if I put all my time, you know, people's donations, money out of my pocket into it just for a large tree to crush and do more damage, you know, it sucks. But you know, that's why I'm here. Yeah. So I have another product review for you. These are loppers that I got from, believe it or not, Aldi's, and there's a little seasonal section. They only cost $12, and they're retractable. All right, let's see what a $12 pair of loppers from a grocery store can do. Okay, Aldi, you have me impressed. Now let's just see how long they last me. Act professional. Okay, the time is here. We are finally going to start to, we're going to prep the monument first. We're going to get all that moss off of the base. We're going to unearth that. Prep all the surfaces, make sure that the epoxy and the monument cement works. Well, it'll do its job. Of course it works. It'll just do its job better. So I'm going to try something stupid. I do not advise you do it. I use my bottle jet or my floor jack to break the suction of the base, raising it level, but it's not at all where I want it. But now that I can kind of lift the base, I suggest you don't do this. I don't got a long enough pry bar, plus, you know, I would have to sit on top of the pry bar and shove gravel under there. I'm going to see if I can re-flip this base up, fill in some dirt, some crushed gravel, and put the base back down. If all else fails, you know, I do have Frankenstein. But let's give this stupid idea a go first. Yeah, don't try this at home. Go back. Once again, I had to reiterate, this is not a how-to video. This is just how I do it. There's the right way, and then there's the Lee way. Now, if I had people watching me, I would have just pulled out Frankenstein and looked a little more professional. But that takes too much time. Getting somewhere. Jackass restoration. Oh, we'll get it done all right. Here that way. That way. All right, so now we'll I'm just gonna pack the corners in real nice and tight like. I got another bag of crushed gravel, and then we're gonna finally start cleaning the surfaces and hopefully get this done by dinner. It is a hot one today. All right, time to, so I didn't want to film myself doing it, but I jumped up and down on the base because I definitely weigh more than that monument, and she's still nice and straight. All right, let's do this. I am worn out. It's been a long day. I actually hit like 72 degrees today, and in Michigan might as well be 100. Holy wow. All right, so I'm using this product right here from the old Atlas Preservation or Atlas Preserve, I'm not so sure, but it comes in two parts, and you gotta mix them into one color. You don't want to see any mixed colors in there. Yes, I highly recommend you use equipment or somebody else to help you do this. Because if you drop the stone too hard on it, doing it by yourself, you can crack the thing all the way up. if there's any cracks in it. But I'm debating on if I want to take the time to bust out Frankenstein to help me out. Well, of course, you know, by the time, you know, I'm sitting here thinking about it, the other two pieces are going to be lighter than hell. Oops, I'm sorry, didn't mean to say that. There's no shame of coming back and trying again and let all this stuff set. Which might be the proper way to do it, I'm not sure. Let's continue. Ah, shit. You gotta clean it up a little bit before we put down the epoxy. No problem. Alright, I'm gonna wrap it up for the day. I'm gonna wait for my 5110 epoxy to show up to put the other two pieces on, because I don't feel comfortable just putting the two pieces on here without the correct epoxy for it. And then I don't know how they didn't fall down to begin with. So we're just gonna leave them laying down on the ground where they're safe. And you know what? Hopefully in a couple of days my epoxy will be here, and then we'll finish this off. We'll give her a nice cleaning. And yeah, we got plenty of more to come into this cemetery. I'm going to be getting phone calls about other cemeteries. Then stay tuned, because my article in the newspaper will be coming out soon. And if anything you took away from this episode is what not to do. Don't come out here and try to do this stuff by yourself. I am what you call an amateur. Alright. Till then, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. To my subscribers, I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you so much. Become a subscriber, and we're going to start having private videos just for you guys. In fact, today I had a visit from we'll call her kind of a family historian. She has 16 family members buried here, and my subscribers will only be able to get to see that footage. Alright, till then I'm gonna get out here, gonna go pick up some pizza, and I'll see you later.